Everyone blames the morning coffee. Too much caffeine, they say. It's drying out your brain. Cut it down. And by mid-morning, when your focus slips and the fog rolls in, the coffee gets the blame again. But the coffee was never the problem. The real cause is something almost nobody over 60 is watching, and it's hiding in plain sight every single day. Here's what makes this one matter. The exact kind of thinking that gets drained first is the same kind that fades first in early memory decline. So that afternoon fog you've been quietly blaming on your age, it might be something far simpler and far easier to fix. I'll show you what's really happening, why your body stopped warning you about it after 60, and the simple fix. Stay with me. Number 1 is the one nobody sees coming. Let me be straight with you, the way I try to be every week. I'm not selling anything here, and I'm not going to dress this up or scare you for no reason. I've spent a long time reading this research, and I bring you what it actually says, with the sources below, so you never have to just take my word for it. And here's what the research quietly shows. Most people over 60 are running their brain on less than it needs, most afternoons, and they have no idea. Not because they're careless, because their own body stopped telling them the truth. And I'll show you exactly why in a minute. The good part is that the fix costs nothing. Nothing to buy, nothing to swallow. But you have to understand what's really happening first, or you'll keep blaming the wrong thing, your sleep, your age, your coffee, and never fix the real one. Before we go on, tell me honestly, in the comments, how many glasses of plain water do you drink in a normal day? Not tea, not coffee, water. Just the number and your age. I read every one, and I think the answers will surprise a lot of you. Here's the piece almost nobody explains. Your brain is about 3/4 water. It's the thirstiest organ you have, and it doesn't store water. It depends on a steady supply, minute to minute. So when your fluid drops even a little, your brain feels it before almost anything else. And I mean a little. This is the part that surprised me most. Losing less than 1% of your body's water, so small you wouldn't feel it physically, is enough to measurably slow your thinking. But here's what makes it matter so much at your age. Dehydration doesn't touch every kind of thinking equally. It goes for the hardest ones first. Sustained attention, working memory, the ability to focus and hold a thought. And that's the same set of abilities that fades first in early cognitive decline. So the fog you feel when you're a little low on water can look almost identical to the thing people quietly panic about. Sit with that for a second. You could be frightening yourself about your memory, when the honest cause is that you simply haven't had enough water since breakfast. Same feeling, completely different cause. And one of them you can fix in 10 minutes. So let's clear away the myth first. Number 5, coffee. You've heard it 100 times. Coffee dehydrates you. It's bad for your brain. Cut it out. And it turns out that's mostly a misunderstanding. Here's the honest picture. Yes, caffeine is a mild diuretic, but the water in the cup more than makes up for the small amount it makes you lose. For regular coffee drinkers, the research is fairly settled. A normal cup of coffee counts toward your fluids for the day, not against them. So if you've been feeling guilty about your morning coffee, or worse, forcing yourself to cut it out and feeling miserable, you can let that go. Now, I'm not telling you coffee is health food or to drink 8 cups. Too much caffeine has its own downsides, and we covered those in the sleep video. But as the cause of the afternoon drain we're talking about today, coffee mostly gets blamed for something it isn't doing. The real drain isn't what's in your cup. It's what's not in it, plain water. And number 4 is where that starts to add up. Number 4, the drinks that quietly pull water out of you while you think you're topping up. This is where it gets sneaky. Some of the drinks people reach for all day are working against them. Alcohol is the obvious one, a real diuretic, and that evening glass makes you lose more water than it gives back. But here's one most people never suspect: the sugary drinks. Fruit juices, sodas, sweet iced teas. When a drink is loaded with sugar, your body has to pull water toward your gut just to process it. So a sugary drink can leave you less hydrated than plain water would, not more. So picture a normal afternoon: a soda with lunch, a sweet tea later, a glass of wine with dinner. You feel like you've been drinking all day. But on balance, some of those took water away from your brain instead of giving it. You weren't doing anything wrong. You were doing exactly what feels normal. The trouble is that normal was quietly draining you. And number 3 is the reason you never felt it happening. Quick pause. If someone finally connecting these dots for you is worth something, subscribe. It's free. And it's how this reaches the next person who's been blaming the wrong thing. Now, number 3, the big one. Number 3, and this is the one that changes everything. After 60, your body stops telling you the truth about thirst. Let me explain what that really means, because it's the key to the whole video. When you were 40, if your body needed water, you felt thirsty. That thirst was your warning light, simple and reliable. That warning light dims as you age. This is well established, not a guess. The sense of thirst weakens significantly in older adults. Your body can be genuinely low on water, low enough to fog your thinking and send you almost no signal at all. And it's a double blow because 2 things happen at once. Just as your thirst signal is fading, your kidneys are getting less able to hold on to water. So you're losing a little more and being warned a little less. Now you can see the trap. Everyone says, drink when you're thirsty. For a younger body, fine. But that advice quietly stopped working for you, because by the time you feel thirsty, if you feel it at all, you're already running low. This is the most important idea in the video. Waiting until you're thirsty is waiting too long. Nobody warned you because that advice was written for a younger body and never updated for yours. Number 2, the signs you've probably been reading wrong for years. When you don't have a thirst signal, dehydration doesn't announce itself. It disguises itself as other things. Things you've learned to shrug off as age. That mid-afternoon tiredness where you just need to sit down, it can be dehydration. The dull headache that creeps in around 3 or 4, dehydration is one of the most common and most overlooked causes. Walking into a room and forgetting why, or losing the thread of a sentence halfway through, a brain running low on water does exactly that. For years, you may have filed these under getting older, shrugged and accepted them. But some of them, not all, but some, aren't your age at all. They're a glass of water you didn't know you needed. I want you to really hear this because it's the heart of it. You may have been quietly accepting something as permanent that was never permanent at all, written off as age when it was fixable the whole time. That's not your fault. Nobody connected these dots for you, but now they're connected. And number 1 is what to actually do about it. Number 1. It isn't a drink you buy. It's a single rule. Stop waiting to feel thirsty. That's the whole thing. We've established the trap. After 60, thirst is a warning light that's stopped working. So you can't use it as your guide anymore. You drink on a schedule, not on a feeling. Here's how, and it's genuinely easy. A glass of water when you wake up, before anything else. You've just gone all night without a drop. A glass with each meal, whether you feel like it or not. And a glass mid-morning and mid-afternoon, the exact times your focus tends to slip. Small, regular, on the clock, not on thirst. Most people over 60 are getting far less than they need and have no idea because the alarm that used to tell them is switched off. Now let me be honest with you, the way I always will be. A lot of the strongest research here comes from short-term studies. Take water away, thinking measurably drops. Give it back, it recovers. Whether mild dehydration over years drives long-term decline on its own is still being studied, and I'm not going to overstate it. But here's what isn't in doubt. Staying properly hydrated sharpens your attention and focus today. It's free, and it's one of the few things on this whole channel with genuinely no downside. There's simply no reason not to. So let's put it together, plainly. Coffee was never the villain. It's been wrongly blamed for years. The real drains are alcohol and sugary drinks, pretending to hydrate you. Your thirst signal quietly faded after 60, and nobody warned you. The tiredness, the headaches, the fog you blamed on age. Some of it was water all along. And the fix is simply to drink on a schedule instead of waiting to feel thirsty. And the honest note, always. This is general information, not medical advice. If you have a heart or kidney condition or take medication that affects your fluid balance, your water needs may genuinely be different. So check with your own doctor before making changes, because for you, the amount matters. But for most people over 60, the message is simple. Your brain is thirsty far more often than it tells you. Don't trust a warning light that stopped working. Quick recap. Coffee, wrongly blamed. Alcohol and sugary drinks, the real drains. Your thirst signal faded after 60. The fog and fatigue, often just water. And number 1, don't wait to feel thirsty. Drink on a schedule. So tell me, honestly, how many glasses of plain water do you actually drink in a day? Put the number in the comments with your age. I think some of you are going to look at that number and realize it's been the answer to something you've been worried about. And if this made you rethink something you'd taken for granted, that's exactly what this channel is for. Subscribe to Neura Notes. Every week, what the research really says about your brain, with the sources every time and nothing for sale. Next time, everyone your age has heard that forgetting names is the first warning sign. It isn't. I'll show you the sign that actually matters and why the one you fear is the wrong one to watch. Until then, take good care of yourself. You're worth the effort.